thank God I have like automatic payments for my bills.
Yeah, I mean, I have automatic payments, but I could also pay by phone. You know,
it's done automatically because I don't want this BS of worrying about, oh, did I pay that bill? Let them take it out of my bank account.
Yeah,
I
it's
have it
easier.
all automatic.
Yeah.
Thank God. That and also PayPal. So that I've set up some stuff at PayPal. So I'm just can't handle writing checks anymore. It's too much.
They don't even make it anywhere. They're getting stolen a lot out of the mailboxes again.
That's what I heard, and they're taking the checks, and they're whatever they're putting in their address of their names. They have a way of taking off the.
Yep.
It's not safe. And if I do mail anything, I always go to the post office.
Yeah, I know.
don't want to do the mailboxes, even though the mailboxes take one at a time. They have the new mailboxes where I live.
Right.
Still, I'd rather send it bring it to the post office.
Yeah, just like
hey
that.
Guy, hey Cindy and Carrie. Hi Leah. Leah's coming in. You can unmute and share.
Okay, so we're live streaming now.
Thank you.
I took my allergy pill a little bit earlier.
Oh, mine is.
It was bad today.
It's horrible. I'm still partially clogged.
I have a deviated septum, so I can't breathe half the time through my nose.
I had it taken care of years ago when I had a nose job. So hey,
that helps.
That's how I got the insurance, because I did have a deviated septum. Because my mother used to say,
a lot of people have it.
My mother used to say, "But can you keep your mouth shut, closed?" I said, "I can't. I can't breathe."
Right. That's how I feel. But
right.
I don't want to have surgery, so.
All right, let me see. John, yeah, I'll put you up on this first group. Where is this thing?
I don't know if I want to read today. I'll make up my mind. Either. I'm here to listen.
I was thinking about the same thing. I haven't really been writing a lot lately, but I have things, but
Well, you're too busy, doing Wordle and free.
So, oh yeah.
So you have no time to write. I wrote one thing in the last week for a workshop.
Oh yeah, we have Brevitas coming up. Well, yeah. I have something that I already wrote, and it's going to be in tomorrow's New Verse News.
Oh,
so I'll be posting that tomorrow on Brevitas. At least I have something to post.
It's so hard to get in there sometimes.
I know. It's like I hit it right. I said, if this is all right. He said, it's more than all right. It's regarding the debates.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oi.
The haiku. Oi.
Oh, man.
Hi, Carrie. Hi. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.
I see Jade is on.
Yes, we're blessed. When Elizabeth says Happy Saturday, we are blessed. And Elizabeth will be reading for us in at the Governor's Island, July 14th.
Yeah. Hey.
There we are.
What time are you reading on Governor's Island? What time is the group reading?
We're reading at 12:30.
Oh, good.
At the White Horse.
I'll be there. I'm reading.
Hi, Jada. You made it.
I'll jump over.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Caroline.
Thank you. Yes.
Hey, Canada. Welcome in the house.
Thank you very much.
All the 2 Canadians can't make it.
Well,
at least we have somebody from Canada here.
Yeah.
For France to come soon.
I'll read the land acknowledgement very quickly.
Patricia, I'm not sure it's Leah. I'm not sure if I'm going to read or not. I might.
Okay, don't worry. If you want to read this, Anybody who wants to leave early, I know I got John McMullen's request. I'll put him in the first group.
I do want to leave early.
Who?
Me.
Carrie.
Carrie. Okay, so Carrie, you in the first group anyway.
Okay.
'cause you
Actually,
signed
if
up
I
early.
could too, I'd appreciate it.
Let me see.
I might have to leave after
Okay,
reading.
I'll have to move some people down. Okay,
I'm leaving now, Pat, so that's
it's not bad.
I left
Only
yesterday.
Pat. That's like the wrath of the Carragon will be upon you forever.
Wow.
I'm making homemade spaghetti and it's simmering on the stove. That's why.
Oh, I can smell it. I love it. I love spaghetti.
Great.
Yeah. I
You
call it.
make your own noodles?
Hi, everybody.
I don't make noodles, but I make the sauce. So I call it like my kitchen sink sauce. So anything that I have, like it, I just use.
Yeah.
Hi. Who is 917?
Hi, it's Bruce. I got locked out of my Zoom account, so I'm on the phone until I can get back
Bruce,
in.
okay, you can change your, because we don't want to.
Well, I'll change it for him. I don't think he can change it. I have to change it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on my account. I can't. I'll just wait 30 minutes and come back on Zoom. So good afternoon, everybody.
Hi, man. Hi. Jade is here. Yay.
Oh, Patricia, I don't know if you heard me, but I might need to leave after reading.
Okay. Okay. Since all the readers are here now, who wants to go first? Because this is how we do. We have the beginning. We have the 10 open micers, and then we have features 1 and 2. Then we have a 15-minute break, and then after Roxy returns, we have the next 10 readers, and then we have the third feature, and then we end up with the rest of the open. So who wants to be number 1 and number 2 and number 3 readers? Jada, do you want to do not like number 1 since you gotta leave early?
Yeah, I'll do number 1 since I have to head out early. I'm so sorry for inconvenience.
Okay. Margaret, or between Margaret and Ron, who wants to go next?
I'll do 2.
Okay. Margaret be 2 and Ron will be number 3 too.
And me.
Okay, beautiful. Hey, Maria. Yeah, anybody who has signed up, who's registered, is automatically on the open list. Just letting you guys know.
Oh, do you have a few more minutes before we start?
We start around a quarter after. We have 8 more minutes.
8 more minutes. Well, if I'm going to be on the open, I'm going to read the land acknowledgement now, and then we'll go straight into whenever I get my turn, because it might take up too much time. But here in Ontario, actually across Canada, we read the land acknowledgement. It was an agreement we made with the Indigenous communities after a very long process of restitution. So I'll read it now, and that will stand for when I start to read. Thank you. Land acknowledgement for Toronto. We acknowledge that the land we're meeting on is traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. And we acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Thank you. Okay, I've done what we all do, even in front of concerts and everything.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So come back. Thank you. So that's very, very, very nice of you to do that. Thank you. Was it Ron?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
There's a message here.
Yeah, we can hear you, Ron.
Okay, I'm on board. Thank you. I had problems. I guess I have a new password.
Okay, let me see. A lot of people want to read in the first group. Okay. Let's see. Where are you?
Patricia, how many minutes do we get to read?
3 minutes. Wait. The open gets
No,
3.
the feature's 15.
The features get 15.
Okay.
Let me see where. Amanda, where are you? A lot of people. Okay.
Caroline, did you see my post on Facebook asking any Canadians to adopt a grandma?
Oh,
That was me. I'm ready. I got my bags packed.
Hmm.
I'm a good babysitter. I can read in French and English.
Hmm.
Ah,
yeah, why not?
good
Well, wait a
qualification.
minute, shouldn't it be grandmas adopting Canadians?
It depends on where you want to live.
I think she's talking about fleeing.
They won't accept me unless I have a job, so I have to get a job as baby. Somebody has to adopt me.
That's right. Yeah. The Peace Bridge is the easiest place to come over. There's a nice immigration office there. Well, it may not be that bad. I wish you all well
Mm.
for the next 3 months. Yeah.
Oh, we have another notification here. Oh, Peter Kozlowski.
Hmm.
He already paid.
Did he pay
Does
again?
Peter have his link?
Oh dear.
She sent again.
Yeah, Peter's already.
She sent another donation again. Okay, Lloyd.
Yeah, I think I paid twice
Registered.
this month, but that's
And I
okay.
sent him his link.
Thank you,
At
because
one.
I'm going to be paying the features next month at Governor's Island.
You know, I'll keep it, at this point. I saw on my PayPal,
Yeah.
I probably signed up twice by accident. That's
Thank
how
you.
much I want to be at Brownstone.
Thank you, because it'll go towards the people I have, because I have to pay the people who are coming out there.
I could spare $5.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I had a bit of doubling up from PayPal too. I didn't know whether it was just because they make the change to American money, but I paid twice too. It's PayPal that
Ugh.
gets me a little bit confused.
Yeah, me too.
So Ron has the link, right?
You mean me?
I mean Peter.
Oh,
Jack is here, good. I'm going to send Peter my link. Hang in there, guys. I got to send Peter my link. Jesus. Yeah, you should have the link. Ah, that's why it's good. You use what you usually use. That's okay, yeah. But the link was sent to you. Great. Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.
I think we're ready to start. It's 2:15.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I just got the phone with Peter. He should be here momentarily. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Brownstone Poets. Give yourself a round of applause and make it on this hot, beautiful day here in Brooklyn or wherever you are today. We have three fabulous people today. We have Margaret Sirocco, Jada Gordon, and Ron Bremer to entertain us. You have everybody who signed up has the option to read. It's 3 minutes maximum. And if you have any, please use the chat as a friendly, safe space to applaud, praise our readers or our open micers.
Please mute yourself if you're not speaking.
I haven't finished my spiel. Okay. Also, please use the chat room for your shameless plugs, your books, whatever, friendly gestures. You know, it's a safe space for everybody. And please mute if it's not your turn. Right now, everybody has to mute because we are now starting. Let me see if I can mute people. Please mute. And I'm going to read off the open list. We have like 3 segments here. We have the beginning. We have 10 opens. Then we have to have features 1 and 2, which will be Jada Gordon and Margaret Sirocco. And then we're going to have like about a 15-minute break. And then after that break, when Roxy returns, we're going to have the next 10 opens. And then after that, we're going to have feature number 3 who will be Ron Bremer. And then we're going to have the rest of the opens. Please mute if you haven't done so already. I see a few of you are not muted. Please mute. Thank you. I'm going to read off who's going to be reading the round number 1 for the open. Is that Tammy Smith here? I guess not. David Duffy's not here. We have Mona Zamfarasko. We have Bruce Whitaker. We have, I don't see Glenda. Is Glenda Pickens here?
No, I didn't see her yet.
Okay. We have Beth Morris, Carrie Magnus Radner. We're going to have, let's see, Harvey Sauce, Amanda Russell, John McMullen, Cindy Hockman, and Charles Coleman. Let me see, that's 5, 10 already. Hold on, because a lot of people don't show up. 1, 2.
And you have John McMullen? Because I think
Yeah,
John wanted to leave early.
I have John McMullen, who has to leave. Amanda Russell has to leave. Harvey Sauce. Let's see, it's at 10 because this is all getting jumbled here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cindy Hockman, Charles Cobain, and Amy Barone. Okay. The number is about 3 minutes maximum. Mona, could you please unmute and share? Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. I have a couple of poems. Doorway. How is it not a circle, the tall reeds that echo the blackbird's mating dance? An eagle soars above Tranquility Ridge, and then another. A cormorant awaits patiently, its heart beats across the waters. On a nearby tree, the other. The moon rises over velvety hills, almost full, almost perfect. The sun sets into this moment we have now bent into itself like the reed holding the balance of the red-winged. Its mate, black-winged, circles the waters and me like a brush. My arms strong, I too draw circles in the air, each one a window. No hesitation, left, right, left. The cadence of my paddle in the wind, round and steady. In the distance, the woods vibrant and dense, pulsing my lungs. In the wake of my flow, the hills point to a doorway I must have passed without knowing. I must have entered its mystery with each pool against the waters. They whisper, first young, then old, then young again, alive, not to be solved, not to be reasoned. The water settles over this riddle. I paddle along the open-ended circle. And one more short poem called Metaphorical. Today, I woke up to smell the roses climbing the rotten cedar planks, my fence barely holding up. The rusty hinges of the gate proclaim the heaven inside. Nearby on the drying rack, the honeysuckle canopy is taking over, like I was told it would. Suddenly, I notice I am surrounded by vines, wisteria and jasmine blossoms. The white hydrangea, luscious and full, I want to bring it inside. But what good would that do? Only perennials are left in my garden. Suddenly, I notice how they have taken over and how I let them. The house is falling apart like in my nightmares, only slowly, slowly. All gone to pieces, down to the basement. And I don't know of anything but heaven and earth, sweet scented and dark. The rose blossoms come and go with clockwork certainty. Red petals line the path, their fragrance out of the dream where I rebuild my home. I don't know where, I don't know how. Today, I wake up to smell the roses.
Nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful, my God, beautiful. And Mona will be reading for me in September, along with my office. Thank you so much. Okay, next person is Bruce E. Whitaker. Unmute and share, Bruce.
Hi, everybody. I plan to see you once my account gets unlocked. But in the meantime, I wanted to read two poems. One is from my April poem a day thing, and some of the debris that came out of that 30-poem process. The ultimate self-marketing plan. My counselor says I should love no one more than myself. I'm sure she actually said that. It rocked my world, like I would give myself 5 stars on Amazon. I would cross an ocean to sit at my own feet. I would drive hundreds of miles across trackless prairie to sell myself out of my trunk to needy rural markets. I would recommend myself as the next title to my book group. I would order myself Muffin on the side each day at Starbucks. I've got it down. Consumer Reports would give me 5s in every category. Pantone would make me color of the year. Toyota would break through the electric market with me. My name would stand for everything that resembled me, just like Xerox, damn it, and lowercase at that. Star of every trade show, I would penetrate every vertical, ROI through the roof. But at the end of the day, doors closed, lights out, with this shiny me, all positioned and placed, still love me, like the counselor said I should. Or am I stuck again, a doormat, a coat holder, getting no credit for someone else's success? So that's one poem. I think we can all have that feeling in this social media age about selflessness and marketing. My book, Good Housekeeping, is out. I'm kind of doing a little book tour. I'll be at Cormorant's tomorrow in Brooklyn. I want to read one poem from that. It's called The Light as Darkness Falls. The furniture recedes with day as violet shadows loom from corners, lunging down across the floor and drifting up the walls. then sinking into the chairs or reclining across the couch until only a lamp can clear space. Yet how amiable the gloom when alone. A soft cloak nuzzles eyes, stills picking hands, and ties the tongue into dropping ceaseless questions and acknowledging how unspeakable, untouchable, unseeable it really is. Or how an artificial light casts a delusional glow and washes out the miracle that lies not above, beneath, or beyond, but within, reducing seer, scene, and sensation to one. So I'm looking forward to our poets today. My good friend Jade is here. I'm very excited about that. And I wish all of you great afternoons. Thank you for listening. And if someone could mute me, I don't know how to do it on my phone. So please mute me and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, let me just go into the participants. Hold on. Okay, I think you're muted now. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Bruce. Okay, just want to say, because Carrie is in the order of how she was registered. And then after Carrie will be John McMullen, Avi Sauce, and who's the other person who has to leave? Amanda Russell. Okay, I'm pushing everybody who needs to leave early. Okay, so Carrie, unmute and share.
Okay, I'm just going to do two very short poems today. This one was just published in Cajun Met Press. This is called 3 Regrets. There are 3 things I've wished I'd done when I was young. Trying on my favorite aunt's hot pink stilettos, getting a big long hit of frozen Oregon weed from an apple bong, and not tasting your lower lip, then sucking your whole mouth the first moment that our eyes met so long ago. Okay. My next one is Priscilla. I write all these poems about women's names. It's called Women's Name Central Series, and this is 160.
I'm sorry.
So, when she is married to a hot burning star, a commanding presence, a sexy present to the entire world, her perfect companion is loneliness. By leaving him behind, she joins the world at last, finally becoming the commander of her own life. So that's about Priscilla Presley.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I'm getting a lot of flack. I mean, guys, it's getting a little confusing going over this because so many people that want to leave early. And if I miss you, I'm sorry, okay? Just letting you know. It's very confusing. Okay, after John McMullen, we're going to have Harvey Sauce and Amanda Russell. And then we're going to have Beth Morse. Because all of the people who are reading ahead of you guys is because they have to leave early. So I'm just doing it a favor. And it is confusing because I'm taking from one part of the list to the other. So understand, hear me out. Thanks. John, unmute and share.
All right, I'm going to read 3 poems, one a very recent one. The end of June 2024. It's almost the end of June 2024, thank God. The hottest in my memory. Stifling heat with tornadoes and floods also in play. If all that wasn't bad enough, we have the awful carnage in Gaza and the Ukraine, and the nasty contentious U.S. presidential election rounding into shape. It might have been the worst month ever for us in Jefferson Valley, New York, with doctors, MRIs, MRAs, etc., were it not for the emergence of Nova, the wild and loving puppy, a 4-month-old Yorkie Poo as a member of our household, if not the ruling member. She exemplifies the love and devotion that seems absent in our world. If only we could learn from her. Moses, Jesus, and Buddha gave us blueprints on how to live, focusing on the love necessary to follow the blueprints. And Nova gives an example of that constant love. Now on to July. this came earlier in the year. Marketing 101. When I was an officer of a major consulting firm, and later the co-owner of a firm with clients on both U.S. coasts, the land in between, and Mexico, I was pretty good at marketing. I never intended to make a land office return. I became a poet. After all, when Joyce Carol Oates supposedly said that the number of people who read poetry in this country is about the same as those who write poetry, Billy Collins agreed with her, saying it is less. Having accepted all that, when I got into this game, I was still chagrined when I received my 2013 1099 from Amazon, where I have 11 paperback books and numerous ebooks, and showed that my proceeds for the year was $106.61. This is ridiculous. I better get back in the marketing business. So prepare for shameless self-promotion and coffee or champagne requests whenever I go online. And if you go to Amazon, the name is spelled JOHN space F space MCMULLEN. And then for some medical things last year. In September, I had a stent put in near my heart. It was done through an incision in my wrist. I went home the next day. 2 months later, I had a valve put in near my heart. It was done through 2 incisions in my groin. I went home the next day. I was sent home with a cardiac monitor attached to my chest and a modified cell phone that would transfer my readings to a server so it would then transfer them to my medical group. Years ago, those procedures would have meant cutting into my chest and extended hospital stay. These technological miracles aren't limited to medicine. Think of my town government where tax and fees are paid online. The board members are watchable online. Board members and officials are reachable by email. Meeting agendas are available online. And we're all here today. Those who are in for the good old days should rather appreciate the here and now. Thank you for putting up with me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for putting up with me. Okay, we have Harvey Sauce next and Amanda Russell, and then we're going to go back to Beth Morris and Cindy if she wants to share, and Charles and Amy. That's it. I hope I got the right list right. Take it away, Harvey.
Will do. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. This is a poem that I rewrote today and that I'll dedicate to the ghostly presence of Joe Biden on the debate stage. His name was Yitzhak. As her father was being dragged away, casually marked off a checklist, his faded elegance not strong enough for forced labor at Daimler-Benz. His card stamped with a fatted calf's expiration date, his defiant Shema in all likelihood having pissed off a guard. He called out to her, "Remember my name, child." His last words to her. That she had survived was a miracle in itself. Only years later able to purchase with her totemically American credit card a lampshade, without experiencing the usual feelings of scorpions climbing her spine. The fear it was some friend of hers whose skin had been flayed, a cousin or classmate. If the Allied troops had waited just one more day to advance, their sanitizing tanks and trucks mired down in the mud or engaged in suppressing skirmishers who stood in their way, rear guard Aryans whose blonde hair and stiff salutes made them easy targets. Camp liberators might have found her remains, stripped of braces and gold fillings, positioned atop a pommel of bones, vaulting towards freedom. A fledgling gymnast, her youthful enthusiasm was exactly what camp commandants would kill to see in a poster girl for Zyklon B. With not enough flesh for her, on her for soup meat. Pick a number, any number between 1 and 6 million, and that might have been her. Having decamped in Bronx, New York, in a 5-story walk-up tenanted by survivors, each with his or her own story, she endures this Holocaust Remembrance Day as she has before, parentless, alone, her grown children too busy with upward mobility. No mother dreidel spinning in a new dress to burst through the door with honey cake and a mischievous smile such as her mother might have done. No father, second generation furrier to the rich, preening in his fur coat to drum up business, well regarded by Jews and Gentiles alike despite his Jewishness. No Shylock by all accounts. As the Goyim, forever angling for pure blood discounts and touching their noses for a joke, were at pains to remind him. Collaborators all too smug in their forbearance. She has since felt herself half-baked, a pastry snatched from the oven too soon. How is a girl not having bled supposed to become a woman without a mother, hair done up in a bun, to pat her on the head, urge her to finish her homework, point her in the right direction, be her cottage compass? This night she will light a candle in their names, say a prayer in Aramaic, a curse in English, the latter with a bitter taste. On this day of remembrance, in Bronx as at Yad Vashem, she remembers them all, father, mother, sister, brother, their hurtful truth. But her father especially calling out to her, remember my name, child, tattooed like camp numbers on her brain. His name was Yitzhak, hers, Ruth, Americanized to Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Powerful. Okay, next we have Amanda, and after Amanda, we have Beth Morris. You go back to the list. Beth Morris, Cindy Hockman, Charles Cobain, and Amy Barone. Amanda, unmute and share. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. It's my birthday today, but I wanted to be here, so I'm glad to be here. I'm going to read some poems that have been recently accepted at 2 different journals. Cold Spaghetti on Friday the 13th, and this one is for one of my favorite poets. I wrote it right after she died, Louise Glick. We all had our alibis. The dog was guarding the backyard from inside the house. My daughter was eating buttered noodles in the living room. My husband and I almost had a dinner together at the dinner table, almost did something recognizable in storybooks. But in another room, the window, let loose a shatter, released a scream from deep within. Our daughter sent the dog shaking into a corner. Afternoon held its breath as we slipped on our shoes to sweep up the delicate turned dangerous. Then I read the news of your death on Facebook. And when I fact-checked this, the fact remained cold, hard, heavy as a rock, but there was no rock. No such explanation for a window to shatter. I don't even know what a hawthorn tree looks like. So instead, I imagined something like the mulberry out front, where I placed the monarch butterfly, which October's first chill left in our driveway. Another pair of bright wings laid to rest, spared the confusion of leaves losing hue, leaves that will soon witness the bold moon eclipse us all into a weird light. We'll stare down at half-moon shadows, unable to recognize our own faces. Each morning since, I bring whatever the yard gives me as a token to the mulberry tree, to leave here an offering, a blue jay's tail feather, a sprig of summer grass going to seed, a stem of crepe myrtle sticky with aphids, minute bouquets of salt marsh asters that all season fought with drought spells and stand now taller in the cooling air, tossing their shadows beneath the canopy of a greater shadow. And this is the last one I'll share. It's shorter, and it's called Joy as an Alligator. What if we forgot that the average human adult can hold shut the jaws of an alligator barehanded? That jaw muscles for opening are weaker than the ones for closing for a reason? That no one expects me to go through my whole life using turn signals and telling my secrets with no added sugar? What if all this time joy has been sunning in a ditch, skin warm and rough as a cliff, hidden until you've already stepped over it, until over 2,000 pounds of pressure per square inch clamp down on you, until it's your ribs that grip a quickened heart. Thanks, everybody.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, back to the list. It's going to get a little quieter now, so it's okay. Beth Morris, after Beth, we're going to have Cindy. We'd like to have a share. Charles Cobain and Amy Barone. Beth, please unmute and share.
Okay, can you hear me? Because my Zoom is not great today.
Yes.
Okay, never mind the picture. I couldn't come today with one of my own poems because I'm too down from what's going on and some personal things. So I turned, of course, to Walt Whitman. And I want to read for you a very short part of Leaves of Grass. I don't know if you can see it on the Zoom. I have an original copy, a 1921 copy of Leaves of Grass in my hand that was my father's. It was a gift to my mother. And the only thing you need to know, for those of you who don't know a little French, he says ma femme at the end, can be my woman, my wife, my lady, or anything. Okay. It's called For You, O Democracy. Come, I will make the continent indissoluble. I will make the most splendid race the sun ever shone upon. I will make divine magnetic lands with the love of comrades, with the lifelong love of comrades. I will plant companionship, thick as trees, along the rivers of America and along the shores of the Great Lakes and all over the prairies. I will make inseparable cities with their arms about each other's necks by the love of comrades, by the manly love of comrades. For you, these from me, O democracy, to serve you, ma femme, for you, I am trilling this song. God bless us.
We need this. Thank you so much. We really need this. This country is in trouble. I'm scared for November. Oh, moving on, we have Cindy. You want to share? No? Okay. Moving along, we have Charles Cobain. Please unmute and share. And after Charles, we're going to have Amy Barone before we go to the features. Charles, unmute and share.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm going to read one since I have no real concept of what 3 minutes sounds like. It's called His Christmas Morning Hair. He makes snow angels on the rug with my children, his hair a blizzard, a snow globe scene of my father finding his joy in us, in the willingness of my children to believe every day the world opens like this. I don't want it to end. I want us to stay like this, together, laughter loud, morning clear. But I know the future, and the future isn't good. I know that he will return to his unbeing carefully, slowly, shed himself one dry skin after another, ribs shimmering, translucent. And I know it'll go on too long, not long enough, not reborn overnight into memory, which is all any of us asks. I see it as I twist a mouthful from my mother's sticky bun tree, decorated with looping white icing and green maraschinos, family tradition. And when he pulls on the face that hides his fear, I will peer straight through it, and my sternum will open like parlor doors, and I will wonder why I could not love him like this until now, when he is helpless. Because I can see it coming, his shrinking. In the end, he will be vapors, clouds across the moon, a mirrored quarry lake after the diver. I will speak then at his church, question who he was and try to answer, because what have I ever known? We all have our other lives, a kind of bigamy, and his a mystery I wrote in his absence. After, we will re-enter the house they built for what was left of themselves without him, and she whom he loves so wholly will be sad and radiant, our centerpiece, our cardinal, blood blooming on a snow-slumped bough. Everyone will smile and bring her food, but she will just peck. But it is early still, Christmas morning for a few hours more, and the future isn't here yet, though no one can change it. And the sun on the snow outside blares through the tall windows, blinding us to everything that waits. Thank you.
Beautiful. Wow. Excellent. Thank you. Amy Braun, you want to unmute and share?
I'm going to read a piece from my latest book, Defying Extinction. It's called Strawberry Moon. The vibrant low moon shadowed a day flooded with sunshine. How many in the city, teeming with tourists and bustling locals, more attuned to their iPhones than a Native American celebration, knew it marked the start of the hay season harvest. In Manhattan, Kansas, by the light of a moon-tinged orange-yellow, farmers rose at 4 a.m. to prep for a day of cutting and baling feed. Just as the Algonquins on reserves in the Ottawa River Valley once gathered strawberry roots and leaves in the brief season to brew potions. Nature-devoted poets fired up their computers to pen odes to the solstice. Saturn, in the glow of the rose moon, nearly brushed elbows with earth. A slight hush fell over New York City as spring handed summer the torch. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to now go into our features. 15 minutes each. We're going to introduce, let me just do something here. Speaker. Okay. Introduce Jada Gordon. Jada Gordon is a writer, editor, journalist, etc., who is featured in The Guild, The Campus, Poetry and Performance, Indolent Books, KGB Lit Journal, La Libreta, Votes Against the Current, and Letters We Wrote to Burn But Published Instead, etc. Won the James Tolan Student Writing Award for Best Lyrical Essay and participated in the New York State Summer Writers Institute. Also the social media manager for the KGB Bar Monday Night Poetry Series and the Wednesday night monthly open mic at the Red Room. She's received a Baldwin for Arts Fellowship and the Sappan Rivers Review Writers Retreat. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Jada Gordon. Take it away, girl.
Just want to say, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I'm very appreciative of the experience, and listening to everyone at the beginning part of the open mic has been really inspiring. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Brownstone Poets. Thank you.
Jada, can you turn on your video? Because we're just seeing a still. Here we go.
Can you see me? Okay, we good to go. I'm going to start with this first poem called Love Will Make Me Feel Human. Can everyone hear me correctly? Love is the firstborn son, and you are the firstborn daughter. The stillness of your skin will always feel like someone else has worn it, that you're flailing in the distance, and you need a touch to justify existing. You say to me in a sea of sweat that you can stay satisfied for months from just a kiss. A little dance floor affair between tongues of a stranger. We ponder if we're in our sexless era over ramen and hopeless wine. You unzip your flesh and show me who you really are. I see all it takes is wine and conversation to feel real. Even the beat of your heart in a jungle of silence is half with reclamation. Love is the one-hit wonder, and you are the blades of grass that keeps nature steady. Swaying back and forth gliding past fingers that brought forth simple pleasures. The milky gray sky, children bending limbs in parks of shame, and no concrete plans help you not feel sorry for yourself. Because for a moment in your mind, you can do it too. Stay afloat with just dollars in your pockets and flurries of hope scattered across the green. Your flesh is unkind and will stretch you. You told me some days you feel outside of yourself, like you're on autopilot once you come to. I asked again. I ask you, are you dreaming of self-driving Teslas again? Don't worry, they scare me too. How we won't be enough someday. All we'll have is our mistakes, and we won't see the beauty in them. Grasping for straws, begging for pain, and threats to suspend yourself, just to know you can feel deep hurt again. After that, erase it all, frame by frame, touch by touch. Fear suds settle in your glass as the sun straddles the shore. It's not good for you. Your family has an established history of alcoholism, but taking another sip bites at your senses. You're not drunk, you're in the moment. Okay, and I'm gonna read something else. I gotta find it. I wrote a poem about the eclipse. I feel like a lot of people did. I wrote one called Midnight Train to Eclipse. Maybe I'm a fool, following the path of a butterfly and almost falling off the earth. I'm taking a course in being a flat earther. I learned where true fools thrive, amongst the unbelievable. I watched the news this morning. There's an eclipse heading through America, and I plan to catch it. To be one with hindrance of light, I'd give too much to be here. I would peel my garlic skin and feed the birds with my father just once more. Marinate my ham with the bread and bird beaks with fingertips. While the sun and moon dance, spin each other in a waltz, I will shatter into an abundance of stardust that lines the shadows and drips down the lacerations of my head. The best eclipse I've seen is when bodies converge. I gripped the night sky in your eyes, stopped the world for 5 minutes, and they sat there, wide-eyed and wagging tongues, thirsting on your sacrifices, writhing out stresses on you. Grab your eclipse glasses. Watch the city's heart begin to beat. Collectively, this is the closest we've been. You know what this means, right? The eclipse is the new third space. Plant your dreams in that dark depth, and they'll grow as children do. Blink and you'll miss it. The next poem I will be reading is Our Daughter. This is a new one that I wrote about a month ago. Flowers died, we got older, we cried to destiny. How the wind sucked our tears like we once latched to our necks. We were predators in a death grip, our gaping wounds so open from our gaze. It glistens in the haze of our tears. Our wounds are roses, like the desolate streets we paved on the first date. I see our daughter there when I dine alone. A fragile version of us is whisked away by the simplest pleasures, the cheapest of wine and roses. She's the girl who asked for pancakes at the Waffle House. She didn't know any better, and that's the best part of her. What you love about her is what could kill her. Stay in golden hour, for Sundays in the park, the thorns we prick from each other's throats, singing the arias to ancestors. I never questioned how we're fugitives to our past, wrapped in the thread of solitude. You swimming in me in another state is a crime if we didn't see it through, or worse, buried it. Out of the public park wind, dancing with the smell of papaya dogs in a not so distant flock. Yes, you're paying this time. Our love was impossibly gentle. Our love is a dandelion disintegrating into matter at the peak of spring. Our daughter escapes the hand of their mother and attempts to grip mine. It's too high, and she wants to keep up with me. Her mitts tug at the trims of my maxi dress. We make a chain-link fence of family, but I never feel her hands. This next poem is another new poem. It's called Make It Sweet and Quick, the working title. I will tell you I'm living a reality that never happened. I can tell you we are what we yearn for. The elegant burning of thin incense, edging out the sticky air. So I asked my fair weather friend, what do we do when the fire burns out? When the scent ceases to emanate? All we ever looked for was who we would be if we weren't at the end of flames on the fringes all the time. If we were smaller, if we overate at the same rate we were underpaid, we wouldn't be ourselves. We'd be rich. We could afford to run away from the inevitable flickering of the end. I will tell you, you are viciously exquisite, like a horse or an old tattoo. I can show you, falling in love with objects and memories is better than falling in love with people. The letdown is free. Still knee deep in a garden of thought, because philosophy is inexpensive and the plants will listen. The tree above my garden box is infected. I call her Eve. She has to be chopped soon. I yearn to be lost in her bearings, fiddled in the womb of a park. I think it's there's still time for another one, or should I end it there? I don't know.
Jada,
that's
do another one.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to read another one. I'm trying to find it again. Sorry. This one is untitled. I'm a dreamer, but I'm a dreamer for you. That should leave you full, yet you rise to me empty. Eyes for the wonderful green. I fear your heart never died. Your back roads have led me to a misty rain dancing with the neon streetlights. You might not have fallen in love, but you were swallowed up in a floodstone of bodies in that blue light. Wipe away the rainwater from the windowsill. Pretend to bend water like that anime we watch on our days off and the days we can afford. Fans of sexual rituals. Glints of flame between us subsides as the wind sweeps our bodies east. The restaurant was foggy enough to remember. We could make the heat quicker and hotter in the back seat. Slow burns make for the best love stories. But that is a dream I watched fade down the river with your clothes, my gender tangled up and streaming into the sun. I'm gonna read another poem called Rain Glitter. It's called Rain Glitter. 4 days of Ophelia's tears dancing on Sunday cobblestone. I stomach the falling stars in a dark bar, grasp the galaxy of thoughts under dusty spring fields room. Seasonal depression is embarrassing. I cry because the skies have war. I cry because I'm helpless. I cry because I could never make doves cry. Running late, running out of time. My clothes will fit on and in and out of me. Dizzied by the perpetual Christmas string lights of this bar. I can live without the nourishment of light, like a succulent in a sun-dried windowsill. I'm trained as a native New Yorker to be devoid of vitamin D, but I don't want to. I don't want to be shut out. I don't want to be a boy or a girl. I'd rather be a scintillating blip, a comet, making its strides across the space. But I'll settle for springing my tongue to the drop, forgetting the unknown after this kiss. The machine of my body will fall limp to this. Naivete will hold me up. I won't fist fight the rain. Each weepy day will make particles of a journey that'll come together under a timid sun. Another breathing of nicotine I did not want. I still suck your tongue out of familiarity. I walk through clouds out of obligation. The rain of your touch will pull me into a silent tango. What is love? It's not a rain story. I will read this one. It's called Bathroom Sex. This is urgent and transient. A chat with a waitress giddy with excitement at the upbeat diner. Her smile makes this greasy chicken parm almost worth saving. Believing in the mountains, its sprawling, expressive escapades. Because I think God is there and waving at me, making a cool, tasteless joke in the bend of sediment. One time I imagined my dead father waving at me in Seventh-day Adventist church with a monocle and a three-piece suit. It was a Saturday like today, when miracles jumped from behind a corner, fucking with me on his day off. My wrists are latched to the bathroom sink, and you find the miracles in me. I perform a solo with the smoke out of the window, pretending it's chemtrails when it's really a shotgun, with no lips on the receiving end. I love when my love glides the steering wheel. A subdued power, the engine hums, then flows through me. The escape route of longing runs ragged at 70 miles per hour. In the blur of these bare houses and half-empty billboard signs, there goes the Catskills, wrapping its woods around us. And I want our hands to be in a waltz with the wind to the speed of summer romance. My dignity curls up and dies after a 3-hour drive. We're in this bathroom. We're all we have. Sharing chapstick like a lifeline. It's more than sex. It's the faded letters in the restaurant menu. It's what we don't say. Our reflections in this dusty bathroom mirror are clear. We'll always be in a forest of each other. Do I have time for one more, or should I just wrap it up there? I'm sorry. I didn't put the time on. Oh, I guess I'll read one more. This one is called Silent Film. Most days I'm in a spaceship of my own making. I take my grandmother's meat cleaver, cut up every lesson learned, and spread them across the universe. Help me take flight. Help me off the cliff. Help me off this appendage of land. Help me out of my skin. I've climbed too close to the sun, but I'm not blinded. My lover's smile reflects the sun every day. I'm more jaded. Words become filler as the day is long. Write me a script of your wrongdoings, and I still see the black holes of your seduction and the black holes of your lives. Your greatest gift and curse. Your eyes, a magnificent mist in late night. I will travel until the world becomes froth, turns to froth, until I'm back on the stoop at home, wrapped in cherry popsicles and lemonade. I dream of these moments. It's much more cerebral this way. I lament to my therapist about how wanting you is making me sick. How I'm a silent film actress and rapid playback over you. Okay, I'll read this my last one. Each born and covered. I have across the stop.
Patty, you're muted.
Jesus. Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. Please. Thank you so much, Jay. That was wonderful. Now I move on to Margaret R. Sirocco, writer, spoken word artist, and activist. Margaret R. Sirocco published her poetry books, If There Is No Wind, and Even the Dog Was Quiet, Human Error Publishing, after retiring from teaching in 2022. Her fiction and poetry are published in anthologies and journals and featured in video, Instagram, and podcast projects. She loves creating workshops like using the feminist gaze in acrostic writing, writing the politics of climate change into poetry and quiet the mind so the heart can write. Nonfiction work ranges from a feature about the 1990s riot girls in her book, The Captive, a prisoner of its own time, about a 1920s play banned on Broadway for referring to a lesbian character off stage. She is a poetry editor for the Platform Review. You can reach her at margaretsoracco.com. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Margaret R. Soracco. Take it away, girl.
Thank you, Patricia. Yes, thanks, everybody. It's good to see some old friends and new ones. Thanks, Jada, for reading as well. It was lovely. I'm going to start with some pieces. Well, there's some pieces that are new and some from my latest collection. This is really an introduction for those of you who don't know me. It was published in He Speaks, Voices of Women, Trans, and Non-Binary Folk from Moonstone Press in Philly. It's called Namesake. I am Margaret, named after my Calabrian American mother. Her maiden Borghese doesn't belong to me in the way she held it. We were peasants, our namesake's royalty, clutching her mother's maiden Camillo as much as Borghese. I visit Ellis Island, touch my grandfather's name, etched in stone, but where are the other grandparents to commemorate their entrance to this new land? My middle name, Rosaria, after my grandmother when confirmed, while friends chose Lynn, Marie, Elizabeth, and Anne, boys added Joseph, Anthony, and Michael. Why did you pick something so ethnic, they ask. Once we pretended to be as American as Hamburger Helper, with parents who disguised dialects and hid their past. I am a Saraco, namesake of a grandfather I never met, died before I was born, his photo in the den. Why is he dressed in a flamenco costume? He was a dancer before leaving Buenos Aires. No one knows which continent our surname comes from, nor where the accent should be. I do not give up Saraco when married, no brothers or male cousins to carry on. Women's names are discarded. I shudder and bristle. One day you are this, the next you are that. Our name should not die with me. Instead, our hyphenated children carry both. For a few more generations, the accented Saraco will linger, Borghese and Camillo nearby in shadow until all swept away. Thank you. The next is from my book, Even the Dog Was Quiet. It's called Room. Years later, lamenting a hurt in my chest that screams too much, Maria surprises me in my classroom carrying a small box of flowers, yellow sprays, bright red carnations, and waxy, unspoiled leaves. A loving gesture for coming back too soon from surgery. I place the flowers on the scratched oak desk, stick fingers in the spudgy styrofoam that keeps them fresh, embrace her as the floral scent reaches my nose, softening the hardness I feel towards the day. Before she came in, I was leaning against the radiator like I was back in my old Chevy Chevette, 20 again, frightened and sore, running from tragedy and pain. Today, returning to 20 from 60, I'm willing to take a chance and rewarded with an act of kindness. I hold her longer than I should. Thank you. So this one I'm reading, it's called After Parkland. On June 14th this year, SCOTUS struck down the bump stock guns ban. And as a teacher for 27 years, I can tell you we lived with gun violence issues daily with our students, having to drill them, talk about it, and all kinds of things. So this is for my students. 600 students plus 100 staff members walk parade-like to the church. Students weave around trees, dip into the street, and rejoin their homerooms. The mood is light on this crisp autumn morning. The staff periodically reminds children to stay on the sidewalk as we make our way to the safe house. One boy nervously asks, his anxiety exposed, "What if someone finds out we're doing a drill and attacks us? There aren't a lot of police." "True," I say, noticing a few patrol cars with flashing lights, giving the exercise an air of legitimacy. but this is only a drill, and continue my part in herding children to safety. But as we walk together, I know his night terrors will increase, like many of his classmates, and cloud his days. He looks at me, waiting for more, asks again. Not today, I say. Not today, love, and pat his back, making contact, even though we are instructed never to touch the children, even a light tap on the shoulder. Today, he needs my reassurance. I nervously glance at cars, people walking by, and at the sun shining down upon us. Today, I need to be right. Today, I need to keep him safe. Thank you. Yes, the politics of the day, no? We are really having a difficult time. Okay, so this one was published in Boundless. It's the Rio Grande Valley International Poetry Festival anthology from like Flower Song Press, if people know that. It's great places if you want to, submit work to. So I write a lot about climate change, and I also write about attention to the earth. In this case, I'm writing about a single wild herb called plantain, the lost herb. At the base of the driveway, a small broadleaf plantain pokes through sand, dirt, and concrete. Cars roll over it, dogs sniff and trample. People walk and joggers run past, blind to this nomadic plant, far from other plants and trees, able to wildly venture, like the dandelion, its weedy, wonderful cousin, confused by some with the banana-like Caribbean plantains. It bears no fruit, but edible leaves grow in rosettes on its 4-inch poor man fiddlehead shoots. Pan-fried in oil, tastes like asparagus, separating seeds from stem with teeth. European settlers brought smallpox on their bodies and plantain seeds on their muddy bottom shoes. Now and then the white man's footprint invading wherever they go, and yet Plantago major, sacred herb, humble herb, cure-all, a band-aid, remedy for snake bites, poison ivy, and tissue restoration, the lost herb. One tribal nation calls it life medicine, ancient knowledge stored in its leaves, stubbornly existing, while homeowners advise to control, cut, weed, and saturate with herbicides. Thank you. So I don't know if he's still here, but Mike Jerkovic was on the call, and this is from the Calling All Poets anthology. I know so many of you are in as well. Yay. It was really joyful to be in this beautiful book. This is called Desired or Not, and it's about, there's a mention of Klimt's The Kiss painting, which is that oil on painting. So many of you will know it's gold leaf, silver, and platinum of two people kissing. So that's what I got to say about that. Desired or not. An innocent red kiss impressed on paper with a birthday pencil, a gift to a happy student. The quick and meaningful kiss to your child, both with pursed lips, whimsical and loving. The unwanted kiss, a quick turn of the head, then uncomfortable peck on the cheek. The woman at cliff's edge, in Klimt's kiss, imbalanced. The artist uses her beauty to exert his prowess. Her head turns, ashamed. He, triumphant as we gaze at her loveliness, mesmerized by the yellow and gold, and miss the rest. So of course, I know many of you are also in, I'm always in good company in these. The Patterson New Literary Review Anthology, number 52. This piece, one honorable mention, and I was really happy about that because it's really for my aunt. It's called Anguish. Sunday morning after church, I run to my Aunt Mary's house across the street. My mother is at home cooking supper, believes religion is found in kitchens with family, not in houses of worship, while my teenage sister sleeps. I am 7 and crave time spent with my dad and visiting my aunt. My stomach growls as I peer into the pot on her stove. Tender, juicy beef and pork chunks bob and simmer in savory gravy with an oil sheen as meat falls from the bone. Bubbles pop to the surface, sweetly drip, dotting the porcelain counter with red residue. My aunt tears off a piece of Italian bread, fresh from Giambruno's, brick ovens down the street, and hands it to me. The bakery only bakes 2 kinds, Italian and Italian with sesame seeds. Every Sunday, priests admonish parishioners for leaving church early to be first in line. Take it, Aunt Mary says, spooning the gravy into a bowl. She stands near me absent-mindedly, combing her fingers through my hair. Daily, she tends to her teenage children and my grandparents, elderly but not old, who live with her. My feet dangle, my legs stick to the green vinyl chair while I devour the delectable chunks. Poppy, their dog, circles my legs, nipping at my black patent leather shoes while I eat. Simmering espresso is for Dad, who squeezes a lemon rind into the cup, adding a shot of Sambuca and drinks the hot liquid in 2 gulps. I notice his eyes look sad, but smiling thanks her. This morning, as all Sunday mornings sitting at the chrome and formica kitchen table, I am not sure what is really going on beneath the offering of espresso and food. I don't understand the space between talk and silence or see the black and blue bruises hidden beneath high necklines and long sleeve shirts. My uncle drinks too much liquor distilled in stained bathtubs or in secreted church shacks. He is a runaway truck hurtling for their children, my grandparents, and my aunt who blocks his path, absorbing the impact. She married at 17, worked long hours in sweatshops, maybe to avoid going home. I wouldn't know. She never told me. I can only guess. In her 50s, she battled cancer, years of rage buried within a ravaged body. Venom spilled from her as she lashed at her demon husband for years of abuse. Eventually yielding to the illness, the warrior goddess, with the last of her strength, barred him from her hospital room, now a weakened old man in his 60s. My childhood memories wrestle with the present as I return to the gravy, her gentle caresses, and the comfort of her embrace. Powerless to ease her pain, I didn't understand until close to her end. Years after her untimely and excruciating death, the memory of my aunt remains with me, bubbling to the surface like the gravy I make on early Sunday mornings. And a very short one to leave you with some love and hope, hopefully. It is really a love poem. It's called Tableau. My friend tells me I should write about the future, but all I've got is when I look at you opening the burgundy curtain in the room with the freshly painted gray walls, and how beautiful you are lighting up a space. The room with the sun creeping in was so dark a minute before. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Roxanne. And thank you, all of the poets in the room.
Thank you so much, Margaret. You were like on fire, girl. Oh my God. And now we're going to go on a 50-minute, with a 10-15-minute break, Roxy. What do you want to do?
Like a 10-minute break, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I just want to reiterate who's coming on. Okay, we're going to come back with Elizabeth Moss, Gina Sanger, Hiram LaRue, Leah DiStefano, Peter Kozlowski, Caroline Di Giovanni, Edward Gold, and Jack Cooper for round 2. And then we're going to have Ron Bremer, and then we're going to finish up with Ron Combe, Lori Carlson, Maria Perez, James Keene, David Groth, who I met a few days ago, Mike Jakovic, Mr. Caps himself, myself, and Roxy. You can unmute, schmooze, whatever. have an Amazon package outside.
Go get it.
Yeah. I need a new route, a new power source. Because the one I have, it's eating through the electric tape.
Oh.
I hate that, you know? You okay, Roxy? And it works. Because this was my power source. I had to like fix it the other day. I had to put on new tape and it's like eating right through it, the heat.
Oh,
dear. So I had for like 15 years.
Mm.
No, not 15 years. Wait. No, since 2015. Thank God. I got it on sale. I got my credit from Amazon and I applied to this and it was a coupon. Yes.
Guys, you can unmute, and if you want to make announcements about your events, you know, you can either give us a shout out while we're on break or just put it in the chat. Put in the links for your books, please.
Well, let me say this to Margaret directly. Margaret, I am so sorry. I held out for as long as I could. I really.
There's no worries, Jim. Could you not hear me or something? No.
No, it wasn't that. No, not at all. It was, I had to get up.
Oh,
Enough
yeah.
said-
No, I think I just like saw you the other day. No.
I know, but still, I don't. It is so rude. I held out as long as I could.
Yeah, no
Believe
worries.
me, I would never. of
Yeah,
all the
don't worry
people-
about it. We'll send everybody the replay.
Oh, nice.
The link for the live stream. The live stream will be up this weekend, so you can
Who was this?
watch it.
Who was talking? I'm sorry. Was that Ron?
No, that was me.
Who? Oh,
Ready to shoot, ready to
He
shoot
had to
myself.
step away while Margaret was reading, so he missed part of
Margaret
it.
talked me off the ledge here.
Yeah, but
you want me to
Meanwhile-
push you into round two? When we read? When we come back,
Mm-hmm.
we'll do that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing all the opens. I love it.
David, you don't want to read? Okay. No worries. Oh, good. I'm glad I like spaghetti.
The wind is whistling around here.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. In, Fort Greene in Brooklyn. Yeah.
We had little tornadoes by me, my Ray, a few days ago.
Yeah.
It's like crazy wind.
Yeah, we're a couple of blocks from the Navy Yard, you know, in the water. So, yeah.
So glad this thing is working. Thank God. Yay. I'm glad I got the new, only paid like $13 for it with my coupons. And no, because the other thing was all dead. And this is a brand new, whatchamacallit I put on it. You know, electric tape, but still it eats right through, and I don't know. Lucky it lasted this long, because usually these things don't last. Oh. You ready to rock and roll? Okay. We want to start 3:30, Roxy?
We could start now. I just
Okay,
resumed the.
that'll be fine. Okay. Okay, okay, recording on? Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, very welcome back for part 2. And we're gonna have we have 3 opens, so this is part 2 of the open. That's gonna happen right now. 3 minutes, please. Try to keep it that way. Okay, we have Elizabeth Moss. Unmute. Happy Saturday. Lady Saturday is in the house. Take it away, and after her will be Gina, Hiram, Leah, and Peter, Caroline, Edward, and Jeff. Take it away.
Fake news. We believed too much for too long. Everything on Fox News sounded logical, like the 1950s family I always wanted. We believed too much for too long. Microwave ovens were spying from kitchens, cooking up violent soups and stews. We believed too much for too long. A gun in every household, burger on every plate. God condemns all else. Just see Leviticus. We believe too much for too long. The news is bloviating entertainment. Is anything left? Only Walter Cronkite knows. And he's not telling because he's dead.
Nice.
That's it?
Can I read one more?
Yeah.
Short one?
Yeah.
Drunks. You came over on a chilly day in May with a bottle of vodka and never left for 2 years. When I passed out, you stood me up naked in the shower. I felt reassured that you knew how to handle a drunk other than yourself. When you left, it was for another woman who didn't drink. How was she ever going to talk to you without a glass in her hand?
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. Next up, we're going to have Gina. Gina, can you please unmute and share? Is she still here? Yes, she's gone. Okay, we move on to Hiram. Welcome, Hiram.
Thank you, Patricia. If everyone could mute, that would be great. I'd really appreciate that. I'm going to post something in the a call for work in the chat. If you have a poem, Roxy, could you mute, please? If you have a poem about hunger of the stomach, and would be willing to share it with Poetry X Hunger for possible publication, that would be terrific. We've published work by Margaret and by Ron Bremer, so love to have some of your work. I have 2 poems I'd like to share. The first one is all about gratitude. It first appeared in Poetry Bus. The title of the poem is Wilt or Stray. I am incredibly lucky. Even this haze knows it. Even my useless gaze says so in every way. To be where I am now, living like this, is like cherries on a branch. In fact, I'm not nearly grateful enough for this mud and for its reasons. Not thankful enough for fences down or kinked hoses. No, I don't deserve porches. In fact, I need to tip my hat in love and honor to every buzzing swarm that's coming at me, to any wilt or stray. And I should surely thank my lucky stars, my blessings, for what last night had its way with the rows of beans out back in the garden. And the second piece is an older poem. It's a love poem. It first appeared in Wisconsin River Valley Journal. It's titled Boat. You see, I don't care if his hair is combed bad. He is my son. I love every shoestring of him, every bit that he thinks he knows. 15 years. I don't care what he becomes, because he'll become something. Look at him. He'll become more than those red ears or grinning legs. He'll become even more important than midnight. More and more I hold him by his shoulder, less and less. And when I do, it's as if he can't be here forever. I think I'll get him a boat to carry and then watch him like the minute that just went by. In the long run, nothing I do will matter. I know that. But look at him, especially when he's reaching for something. There must be a whole other world out there somewhere that's missing him. Thanks, Patricia.
Beautiful. Oh my God. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Come again, and we will note about that submission. Thank you for sharing. Let's see who else is here. Leah, you want to unmute and share with us? Or are you just here to listen?
Okay.
Thank you.
Excuse me. This is a love poem of sorts. It's titled Standing on One Leg Indefinitely. For 25 years, British actor Peter Gordon wrote a poem a day to his wife, Alison, even after she died. Hard to imagine being loved that much, though I thought I was once. I imagine them penned on Post-its, 9,000 declarations of devotion stuck like feathers. Alison's wings. Some were brief, to be fair, light, no burden to wear. The nest he built her must have been generous, room to pirouette, tourgeter, wobble. Easy to climb up or down when she chose not to fly. Room to lie down when she could no longer stand. Love like that, left to breathe, exhale, alight, turns beloveds into winged things. I didn't realize how 9,000 Post-its penned in invisible ink between lines could weigh. Grievances lying in wait for vertigo to topple me, held to a flame, 9,000 expectations paper-mache'd, bound to crack with too deep a breath or sway. You said I made you stop loving me. Or was it because I could not make you love yourself? Me, stuck in an airy too high, too narrow for breath or sway, right toe balanced on pointe indefinitely, no room for the left, only one way to fall.
Thank you so much. Come again.
Can I read one more?
Sure, go ahead.
More lighthearted. The last one is for my ex-husband. This one is for my late husband. Gosh. Secrets of the Does anybody here know what the Deerhead Inn is? It's in Delaware Water Gap, Pennsylvania, right over the border of Route 80. And it's the longest running, continuously running jazz venue in the country. Secrets from the Deerhead. If you put your ear to the wall, a table, a chair, the wide plank floorboards, you might hear dust mites and woodworms sing, the faint falsetto tale of their acquired DNA. Tiny savants who've crawled up the evolutionary scale to spawn generations of pitch-perfect whisperers, curators of cool, an archive of beats and chord changes cached in the woodwork. I used to think there was an uncanny gene for improvise, how every jazz musician is born to hear what every other jazz musician is about to hear before any note has ever been played. But I'm guessing they get their cues from those microscopic hoarders of melodic dust and jazz debris hiding in the drum set, the cracks in the floor, the patina on the piano keys.
Oh my God. Are you in Jerry Jazz?
This is in Jerry Jazz.
Oh, no wonder. Yeah, because it sounds familiar. Yeah.
My late husband was a jazz musician composer.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Welcome.
Okay, Peter, you're next. And after Peter will be Caroline, Edward, and Jack before we go into the last feature and the final open mic. Peter, unmute and share.
Okay, you hear me?
Yeah.
It's called Intercom. Please let me into the realm of your senses. Won't you grant me an audience in the parlor of your touch? Please let me in from the mindless exuberance, the dizzying self-absorption, and entitlement run amok. Please let me into the fragrance of your breathing. I want to walk around in rooms that are styled by your thoughts and move in a circle of friends who all admire you. Please let me in from the coldness of the logic, from the bad eye and the so-called wisdom of the market's invisible claw. Won't you grant me access to the green zones of your whispers? I wish you could give me a backstage pass to the dressing rooms of your dreams. Please let me in from this overcrowded city. It's all filled up with humans. There's a lot of them I don't like. Please let me into the realm of your senses. Won't you grant me an audience in the parlor of your touch? Why don't you be a dear friend now and come on, buzz me up? That's it.
Thank you. Yay. Good to see you again. Okay, Caroline, our friend from Canada, please share, unmute. And then after her, it's Edward and Jack, and we move on to the last feature and the last of the open.
Okay.
Take it away, Caroline.
I'm in. I'm working on some very long poems, but today I'm just going to read two short ones from my notebook. I hope you listen. Memory moment. I put the flowers in the silver vase, and once again I thought of you and home. 3 stems of iris brought back from the store, my city balcony too high for growing flowers. I saw the iris and you came to mind, the mother of the family, the source, explaining beauty, even when dark days made you the strong survivor that you were. So that's a poem about flowers and the iris. And I have another one about my brother. So one about my mother, one about my brother, who passed away very suddenly and made everybody sad. Month's mind. Days, weeks, months, and years filled with laughter and with tears. This is how we begin to remember the ones we hold dear who have gone. Their lives lived give back to us baskets full of memories, boxes packed with days and nights spent together in harmony. Open the boxes at any time, never sealed or locked away. Love has the capacity to hold on to everything. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Canada. Thank you, Caroline. Next, we have Edward Galt.
Thank you.
Take it away. Thank you.
This I have a new book coming out called Airhead and Other Poems, be coming out shortly this summer. And this poem is from that collection called Management Philosophy. As we drove down I-93 to Boston from Salem, Bernie told me about how he retired for a year and just played golf. About halfway through the year, it was routine. When he woke up, he thought, gee, now I have to go play golf. So he went back to work. He said he was the manager of a chain of stores. When he hired a new manager, he would delegate to them responsibility for the whole department. Let them handle it their own way. He even gave them a few days off before they started, so they would be refreshed and invigorated to get to work and do the numbers. So we passed a place called the Shark's Cage on our left. He said that in the 60s, he went there. The people there threw beer bottles at this guy singing in a kitchen wire cage. I wondered if the guy ever got a couple of days off so he could come back refreshed and invigorated to throw bottles back at the audience. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To hear this news. If you have any more any plugs here, guys, please post it in the chat. We want to see it. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to end this the second open round with Jack Cooper. Take it away, Jack, from Paris. Bonjour. Unmute. Monsieur, unmute.
Mute. Romance. For me, freedom is deliverance from love, futile attachment to a human being that gives rise to false images of gods. Venus, principal among them. She eschews all but abstraction. Only her boy child, misbehaving imp of infatuation, tiny prick between the tips of his fingers, the minuscule arrow that alone will let feel an attenuated reality of release. Penetration, soul tangible sensation, far from the heart, in torrents of spasms and sorrows that leave us sick. God, of course, the imitation man, and his cursed mother have come to exemplify all that is not, the fantasy of some future reward, some longed for and impermanent rehabilitation. To Satan only may we rightly pledge, if it is illusion of salvation, the perpetuity of fools we seek. His errant boy, grown full man, discarded arrows for magnificent wings, had the nerve to prove hell past harrowing, and serve in the true paradise it seemed, removed from dream and the deceit of heaven. Thank you.
Beautiful. Pardon. Merci beaucoup. Now we move on to our last feature, Ron Bremer. Ron Bremer has worked as a UPS truck unloader, security guard, taxi driver, and 40 years as a computer programmer, mostly at Pan American World Airways and Citibank. Since the 1970s, he has written of incense, peppermints, and the color of time in 2 books and 6 chapbooks. Journal appearances include Brownstone Poets Anthology, Red Wheelbarrow, International Poetry Review, Jerry Jazz Musician, Galway Review, Journal of Formal Poetry, Patterson Literary Review, yay, etc. His wife is a terrific painter, artist, not house, and sociologist. His son is a better poet than he. He lives in wonderful Northeast New Jersey. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Ron Bremer of New Jersey.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, instead of doing a lot of my older stuff and stuff that's been published, I'm going to do a whole bunch of new stuff instead. So I've got two brand new chapbooks. They haven't been published, but I'm hopeful. Anyway, here we go. Daggers fly through the ubiquitous dark of myself. Daggers of truth, daggers of lies, daggers of unconscionable facts. Drunk on dreams of misbegotten heroes, drunk on hopes of wild-eyed fools, drunk on dead futures and pasts forcibly forgotten, I strive to achieve some semblance of normalcy. But, as Ringo sang, it don't come easy, and in fact may not come at all. But like Frankie Boy knows, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. Except that instead of being shot down, it's these damn daggers that cut and bleed me. Rules for inside and outside. Inside, the games play us. The thoughts think us. The dreams dream us. The rules make us who we are. Outside, the weather feels us. People touch us. The sky sees us. The atmosphere breathes us. The rules make us who we pretend to be. The new parameters of urban sanctity perimetered myself in the subway selfhood of a life with so much meaning. Lives that matter curtained their sameness, and making our neighborhood safer, clamored for less resistance. Nowadays, it is hard to enforce distinction and reverence upon a crowd deaf to mass graves and cowed by mass sacrifice. You skip that one. Total chaos is my name. Total chaos is my game. Humanity, inanity, profanity and vanity, insanity, mundanity, eternity, modernity, philosophies, monstrosities. I put them all to shame. All the world's the same, and only I'm to blame. Total chaos is my name. Total chaos is my game. Seeing stars on a moonless night in a world suddenly not so cunning, where we earthbound fools wash our hands and assume we're clean, but our inner selves know the facts. We think our lives can be baked like a cake, lifted with a spatula when removed from the oven, but the cake is not ready. Batter drifts to the floor, like so many lives lost to pointless violence, wars, or snuffed out by disease or murdering hunger that we don't have the will to cure. The imperceptible moon must penetrate the darkness, make itself powerful among its brother, sister stars, flush this world of its cultivated madness, and lead and light the way to a civilized night. And this is my anti-war poem number 2. Peacefire, holy grails to the contrary, begs silent boots to crush underfoot mangled corpses from nowhere, brought here where chickens' heads are split open, where candlelit bottles are bruised in the guise of the plight of the faceless. Okay, and this one needs a little explanation. Claire's Knee is a movie from 1970 by Eric Romay. The summertime of New York Times falls into the spew under Claire's knee. Claire's knee satiates me, myself, till I predict the emerging of prevarication with the air. Feeds the exile with supplicants. Commotion caught atomic daughters uninhibited dust. Hunt the perched orgasm by unwary welcomes. Forget your origins, yourself becomes you. Endure desperation, but choose remaining ransom. Release. Prison crumbles, an overrated escape. Borrow the blessings. Petals melt under a clever and willful sun. Tell me if I'm out of tune. You can decide which toy we'll play with. Give my mother a can of blue paint. She will paint her impressions of babies and a wolf. The elastic crowd crowds about each other. Rats eat sugar cubes, but not plastic. And we should follow suit. I am too high to tell the truth now, or to ride a pony through the snow. Why don't you get a grip on yourself? My duty is the color of butterscotch. This gallery of fools and wiseacres is out of character for today's court. I plan to step out in the pageant, revealing an opinion rhapsody that moves in step with a strung hymn. Hidden tambourines will play for you, and I hope you can reside gracefully in their unseen shadows, which is your duty, and which smells like the color of Hittites. Monkeys on my back seethe in their simmering fury. They taste my truth, and it burns their tongues. I no longer try to get them off my back. They've become something of a status symbol. I can use their anger for my own ends, an excuse for everything I fail at. In this tarnished town of no regrets, where dead people pretend to be alive and paint peels from structures of hate, I walk the streets, beholden and vanquished, but determined to salvage a future for us and carry a fiery torch without a plan of how and when to use it, to burn all the corpses that stink up this town and rebuild it from their ashes. I hear the sounds of brazen dreaming. The gods have sent harpies to wake us and break our eardrums. Angry birds caw, creeping cats screech, doleful dogs wail, ugly ogres trumpet, and there's nary a strumpet to kiss and soothe our aching cochleas. Yikes almighty, there's bugs in the sugar, police on the corner, mortgage on the car, and those damnable prose-like earwigs burrowing past the sense and solitude in our minds. When what we need is poetry. I hear America singing, but in 2024, it's not Walt Whitman's song. It's the stinging dissonance of real politic, drowning out the whispers of wisdom. And if we don't wake up soon from this brazen dream, we're in for a somnambulism of cackles and squawks and blood oozing and snot dripping and vomit dribbling in a disgraceful mockery of this, the greatest society the world has seen. Lucid comrades, we try to speak truth in the alleyways of our angst and passion, lost in the wages of sin and our youth, and the happy followings of fashion. In many years, we'll see all the flaws of the foolishness we held in our claws, so willfully callow, devoid of sense, but seeming righteous in the present tense. Discredited elites bamboozle assailants, while Vulpine muckrakers wade into a soporific coleslaw of cabbages, kings, cronies, and their dynasty of crones, and a polished cigarette. And what do I have left? Maybe 1 or 2 minutes?
Okay, you've got about 6 minutes.
Okay. Take a bus ride into caverns of steam, through miles of noxious, odorless gas. Broken shovels and picks will you pass, hopelessly digging in search of a dream. You think that the world will be better for this, your journey to find the answer for hope. You'd better realize that you're just a dope who couldn't see all of the chances he missed. And this is the newer Colossus. Come ye, all who breathe a deathly air are welcome here. We are your brothers, your sisters, we feel your pains. Respect our persons and our laws, and do not fear. We will protect you, and your knowledge will be our gain. In this land of hope and freedom, there'll be no need for tears. What I missed the day I was absent from third grade. I missed electing the pet hamster class president. I missed the lovely wind that blew our teacher, Miss Delmonico, out of the classroom and into the county jail. I missed the principal's hot fudge sundae dream. I missed learning that 2 plus 2 doesn't have to equal 4 if you don't want it to. I missed homework from the cloud that was our substitute teacher for the day and who taught the rest of the class how to float in the sky with no cares or fears. I missed learning that nouns can be verbs and verbs can be nouns if they truly desire it. I missed learning how to write my own epitaph. I missed the first day of forever. And let's see what we have here. We have ugly truth has an inexhaustible beauty, limitless, pervasive, and unforgettable. Facts are disputable, their implications are not. A fast-moving train of conclusions collides with the undisputed facts every day of our lives. Each one of us has a different understanding of the exactitude of those facts, and most think there is value and import in facing facts. When what are thought to be facts or merely opinions, conflict arise. We may coalesce into cliques of differing opinions. In the schoolyards of our minds, opinions solidify into unflinching truths. We will never reach a point when all facts are indisputable and lead to universally acceptable truth, but one cannot escape the facts, no matter how difficult to accept. Facts have lives of their own, which cannot be silenced indefinitely. Debris and ruins remain to testify and be rebuilt in the inexhaustible beauty of the ugly truth. I'd like to close with a bunch of, oops, if I've got them, a few senryu. When I dream of you, my dreams are stolen away by the jealous dawn. Autumn rains soak me, smooth, sultry, bracing, sexy. Cool rains, hot passions. An omen of light snuggles in the breast of night before dawn wakes her. In my mind, a bell sometimes chimes to remind me to be myself, not the person I prefer to be me. Wailing winds assault in autumn's dwindling twilight, battering the soul. November trees mourn, leaves ripped from their arms, sacrificed to time, the murderer of all. And finally, autumn fog teases, kisses me in dawn's shadow, steals my heart away. Thank you, and have a pleasant rest of the day.
Thank you, Ron. This was Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Exactly. Oh my God. And we got more goodies to come because we got the rest of the open here. I'm going to read off. We have Ron Combe, Lori Carlson, Maria Perez, James Keene. Please read. David Groff, if he wants to read. Mike Jakovic, Mr. Caps. Myself and Roxanne. Okay, Ron, unmute and share.
That's going to be a tough Ron to follow. I'll read a poem from Tiny Little Public Illumination magazine first. Sigmund, surprised by joy. Sigmund, a bouncing baby boy, transcribes his dreams, scribbling them on his bedroom wall using a purple crayon. When he plays with his die-cast cars, pushing them across the rug, he can't help but hear the music of the spheres. And the second one I'll read is one I wrote from a series of poetry prompts that Micah Eaton Zevin posted. This was from a little while ago. Let's see if it works at all. These are from his poetry prompts. Pushing buttons in Silicon Valley. I was trying to get the elevator to move, but I wasn't having much luck. I was hoping to meet Elon Musk and find out more about his warning that killer robots are more dangerous than Kim Jong-un. It finally kicks into gear and rumbles unsteadily up to the 13th floor, where I discover a diorama of speeding Tesla sedans. A little boy is standing in front of it, staring, his mouth open. A guard comes around the corner and tries to shoo him away, but I plead with him to stop because I can clearly see the look of terror that's now etched on the young boy's face. Thank you so much, everyone, for being there. This has been a great afternoon.
Thank you, Ron. Always great to hear your work. Oh my God. Okay, next up, Lori Carlson, Maria Perez, James Keene, David Groff, he wants to read, Mike Jakovic, me, and Roxy. Lori, please unmute and share. Thank you for coming. Welcome. Lori, is she here? I guess she's gone. Lori's gone. Okay. We move on to Maria Perez. Unmute and please share.
Hola, everybody. Incredible voices. Well, thinking of what we've been through, okay, what can happen in the heat? In the coolness of the stream, she relaxed her body, tireless, uncoiling, arching her back, neck open to the sky, toes tripping ripples, her whiteness bluing, bleeding fingers flow, reach legs exploring crystal shimmer, her watery pleasure. She did not hear the soft approach, his skillful glide, the mute paddle, till her toe tickled. A fish, she thought, flitting away. The king swan, his longing tensing, circles, circles, fluttering whispers on her shining neck. His mobile neck flushes her deep, releases ripples sweet, his ample wings stroke the oiled white blooms, sturdy legs, encircling and circling. And
lovely.
Beautiful, Maria.
Other things can happen in the heat. Okay, so
that's it.
Did Billy Williams? You are the bread and the knife. You are the crystal goblet and the wine. Say it. What happened to the foie gras, the frog's legs you left on the counter so open and inviting? Are you really the staff of light riding to feed the many? Or did you guile up too much vino to remember what the bread and the knife, the crystal goblet and the wine were there for? Because you told me I was the sugar in your coffee, the butter on your knife, the salt in your life. Do you? Thank you.
Gracias. Gracias, Maria. James, you want to welcome aboard? Want to read something? Unmute, share.
There we go. Okay, yeah. Last week I honored the memory of Willie Mays. God rest his soul. This week I honor the memory of Orlando Cepeda. God, I hope nobody else is leaving my Giants anytime soon. Anyway, Unforgotten is a poem I wrote a few years back when I was in the peak of health and long before I had two serious surgeries within 6 months of each other that I never saw coming. One thing I did realize, though, it's rectifiable, unlike the condition of the slow train of wheelchairs, the permanently disabled teenagers I saw stuck in these wheelchairs rolling up the hill from Camp Jened many years ago. So my poems I like to have resonate with everyone, but this one in particular resonates more with me at this point. Unforgotten, in memory of Camp Jened, 1951 to 2009. Here comes a rolling train, the like I've never seen before. The slowness of its movement captivates. 6 cars to this train, no engine, no caboose, but 6 strong engineers, one behind each passenger. The passengers lay back, silent prisoners in leg irons, arms stiffly dangling, useless to be bound. The engineers tend with murmured singing of ice cream, of sodas, but a candy bar? Ever? No. Lead prisoner, you never move your face, eyes unblinking, fixed on me, but rolling past slowly, all the while, your open mouth sags in a wan smile. Do I have room for another one, Pat?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. My wife, Barbara Jean, and my son, Nicholas, we adopted from El Salvador, he's now 31, but they were frolicking in the shallows of the water and down the Jersey Shore last year with our 2 little doggies. But it suddenly catapulted me back to the night that she brought Nicholas home. He was just shy of 2 months shy at Newark Airport from El Salvador. And this one just came out. It was called Mother and Son. Radiant with exhaustion, but never staggering off the second flight of that long, blessed night. Hugging to fitful sleep a dark-eyed little boy, safely cocooned in the jumpsuit you clothed him in, against the cold he never suffered where he was born. Here you are at last, mother and son, your love that never stops growing, deepening, already begun. You couldn't wait for me to hold him high, face to face, eyes to eyes, a baby in a photograph no longer. Nicholas, my son, long since grown to Nick, it was then that I knew, and after all our years together, it still holds true. I was the lucky one. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much. Come again. Okay, David, do you still want to? You're just listening. Okay. Or you want to read? Got a new book out. Thank you. And next will be Mike Jakovic and myself and Roxanne to finish it.
Terrific. So I'm game to go, Patricia?
Yes.
Great, terrific. I'll read a poem from my book, Live in Suspense. Glass house. In the pantry looking for rice, I hear a punch against the wall and imagine an outlet poofing, the power I depend on gone. But no, at the entrance on the slate outside is a bird on its back. In a spasm, it hit the great window of the house I stay in. It flutters as if in anger to right itself, as if like an athlete it would shake it off, unclench itself to clench again, And then it stops, as if lost in shock that the rules for flying changed without a word, that it isn't gliding into that shiny sky. Useless, I wait. I hope the bird won't bleed, red seeping into its smoke taupe feathers, that it will still collect itself, flip over, fly. But that was a violent strike against the glass. I wish I knew its name. I know birds die all the time, from falcons, hawks, cats, quick snakes, a lightning strike, my fellow humans looking for a meal. Last night, my dinner was a bird. But a single bird against a window witnessed feels like tragedy or pity. I do my vigil, I get the rice, I monitor, no movement. I listen for other frantic, angry, grieving birds. No luck. Do birds like elephants lament their kind, or does the wind push birds along? At last I get the broom, the dustpan, flip it in. So light, of course, such tensile aerodynamic bones, a human hand, a grayed glass chalice. I take it to the creek grass, hoping for a turkey vulture, a bird for a bird, that hungry, useful, cannibal mortician. I say words of consolation and complicity. I use my hand as if to bless or wave. The world needs stickers on its windows. I go back to the mirror of my house. She was, I learn, a mourning dove.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, oh my God, we gotta have you read for us next year. Definitely.
I love you, Mike. Have fun.
Okay, that's it? Okay. Mike, you want to unmute and share, Mr. Caps?
All right, sure. Yeah, hold on a second. I wasn't, yeah. Um, we've been writing poems about all the political nonsense and stuff. And there was a time when you could say, well, it's the older generation that's voting against us or whatever. I've come to the point where it's us against us now. And I don't know. So this is called One of Them. A certain suburban gonad twister and a scorpion maid buy the house next door, and there's no playing field long enough, no playing field wide enough to escape his agitation, the mechanical slur of his fictional lawn, his new rude machine that cuts the land his imperial way. He's one of those gearheads who RPM and revs you awake every Saturday, 8 a.m. Hoards long jockeys and talks to his tools. Yeah, he's one of them, who I wouldn't have dreamed to call one of them that weekend at Woodstock, Newport, or Monterey. And I got another real short one. This is called Brawling. And I want to thank everybody for all the kind words you've sent for the Caps anthology. Thanks, man. It wouldn't be Caps without you. And this is called Brawling. Imagine, like Mayans, we bear aloft a king, a feral brute, brash of muscle, rash with bile and sanction, his churlish memes, the creed of legion, birthing, inbred, brawling. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Caps. Thank you, Mike.
You'll be reading on Governor's Island too.
Yes, and Ron will be one of our features of Governor's Island with Sandy Aon and Ken, whatever his name is, Ken Hall.
Oh, wonderful.
Fantastic. Okay, now it's my turn, and then Roxy will end it off. 2 new poems. Perfect Storm. We created this perfect storm, a perfect combustion of perfection, the perfect fervor versus indifference, the perfect solar flares of heaven once confined in hell. We are this perfect storm. Our perfection defies our differences. Our fugitive needs are perfection because these perfect moments exist only for us. We engage in perfection, the perfect turbulence, the perfect hurricane, the perfect earthquake, the perfect volcanic eruption, the forest and city engulfed in perfect flames. perfection uninterrupted, our perfect cycle completed before imperfection, disguised as reality, approaches, destroys and perfects what we already have. And finally, keeping in the political climate that we are going through right now, and this is going to come out tomorrow in the New Verse News, my latest haiku, debatable haiku. I'm going to repeat it twice because it's a haiku, or technically a senryo. Old white men debate, commentaries escalate, flags fly upside down. Old white men debate, commentaries escalate, flags fly upside down. And now, Roxy, take it away, girl.
Okay, hang on. I had my poem up now, if I can just find it. Okay, so it's an old one, figure after William Carlos Williams' poem. Among painted barns, verdant grasses still slick from rain, white chickens and red wheelbarrows, I spot the great figure. Straw halo, golden, brimmed, owl eye glasses, sun glinting from their rims, shirt sleeves blue and white gingham, billowing breezily, becoming poem, pared down, slimmed, intense eyes gleaming, moving rapidly, left hand trembling, lips mouthing words, each unyielding curve and line, each ruby plum, plucked, pressed, and preserved, row beneath row on small white pad. Unheeded to Floss's pleading calls, the clatter of plates, his tummy rumbling, or perhaps heating and absorbed by all, children's laughter pealing in the distance, the scat of conversations hum and murmur, mixed with the cricket's drone, a speckled mutt barking against the backdrop of the orange disk's descent, a last glimmering as dusk darkens the scene to all but silhouette and shadow, where dinner and Flossie wait and nighttime falls. Thanks everybody for coming out. It was another wonderful reading.
Yeah,
truly
thank
enjoyable.
you, Roxy. Thank you for ending it all. I want to give a warm Brownstone shout out to Jada Gordon, Margaret R. Sirocco, Ron Bremer, Roxy, my left and right arm, you open micers, Brooklyn, USA, Canada, Paris, France, the world, you name it. Come back again on July. We're on hiatus. Yay!
Right. But we will be at
I'll
the
let
New York
you guys
Poetry
know
Festival.
when the anthology's coming out. I'm waiting for the artwork to come in the next few weeks. I hope to get the Dawn thing out at the end of this month, end of next month. And July 14th, I'm going to be with the Brownstone Poets at the White Horse stage on 12:30 at the Governor's Island with Elizabeth Moss, Kim Brandon, and Jordan Franklin. And no Brownstones on Zoom for July and August. We'll be back on the 21st of September with Mona and Harvey and somebody else. I can't think of the name right now. We're in negotiation. But thank you, everybody. Anybody quick shout outs while you're at it?
Well, Poets Wear Prada will be at the New York Poetry Festival on the 14th on Sunday. So I hope you guys will hang around to 4 o'clock. Bruce Whitaker, Sarah Sarai, Chocolate Waters, and Jason Morphew will be coming in from LA to join us. So it'll be a great opportunity to hear and see him in New York. So it's going to be a blast, you know? So come, guys, go to the New York Poetry Festival. It's a free ferry ride if you leave early in the morning. It's a free ferry ride all day for seniors. and it'll be July 13th and July 14th, 2 chock-full days of poetry. You'll see all your friends there.
And
So
happy
please come and
Pride.
go.
Yay, happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, tomorrow
Pride
we're
Month,
marching in the
everyone.
Pride Festival.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a
And
great
Caps,
afternoon.
Thank you, everyone. What a great afternoon. See you next month.
No, not, yeah.
No, see you. Well, we'll see you at
We'll
Governor's
see you
Island.
all
See you
somewhere.
in September.
September, please. I need a break. I'll be busy with the anthologies once they come.
I think Patricia is taking donations because we would like to pay the readers for Brownstone Poets. Still, if you want to make your donations, please do so for next month so she can share that money with the people reading.
Yeah, because you're schlepping all that way to put readers, and I want to pay them.
Okay. Thank you
Push
all.
that.
Thank you.
Bye.
My first time.
Happy Pride.
Thank you
Happy
very much.
summer.
Blessings. So,
A bientôt.
Bientôt.
hasta luego.
Thanks to all the newbies for coming, and I hope you guys will join us again, either on the island or in September when we're reading.
Great. Thank you.
Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Adios.
Meet me.
Ciao.